Hello everybody, welcome to this webinar. I want to remind everyone of our Reliv mission, which is to nourish the world in mind, body and spirit. And of course our 3-year vision for Reliv Asia Pacific is to achieve $1 million in US sales per month in the region, on our way to earning that in each market. Our top priorities for 2014 of course are to increase all of our KPIs and particularly our sponsoring and our advancements, and everything else will follow. We're developing our brand awareness and doing more and more about that, enhancing our social media strategy, and something happening about that very soon. We're increasing our online capabilities week by week, and of course our focus is to get more and more people through to the director levels within the Reliv organization. This week we're going to talk about developing leaders. I'm Birch, the Asia Pacific Sales Manager. And first up, let's just consider that leadership. There's a profound difference, as it says here, between someone who leads and someone who just happens to be in front. Title does not mean leader. Leader is something completely different. So therefore, that begs the question, what is leadership? Well, here's one definition. It's the ability to get individuals to willingly follow you because of who you are. And that's really important. That is absolutely right at the crux of being a leader and leadership. It is getting people to willingly follow you because of the person that you are. And of course, the person that you are is a part of who you've been as you've grown up, the environment that you come from, what you've learned, your experiences that have all been together. But how does this all work in the way of leadership? Well, it's about influence. Because really great leaders influence those people around them. People, as I said in the previous slide, they willingly want to follow them. They willingly want to work with them. And the really true leaders, for them, it's all about influence. And it's about the way you act, it's about who you are, that you influence others, and it's about leading by example. There's a quote, actually it's from the Bible, it says, without vision the people will perish. And a leader must have inspiration and vision. And as it says here, and I love this quote, a leader illuminates the connection between the task at hand and the vision, giving meaning to the work. So they illuminate the connection. It enables a leader, it enables people to see how they can get to the vision. And that is such a critical skill set. And not everybody has that skill set. And it's so important to be able to lead people that you can get them to see that connection, that they can see the pathway of how they're going to get to that vision. Absolutely critical. So we have a look at these 6 characteristics of leaders here. Inspiration is so important because motivation is something that comes from within. You get motivated to do something, that's coming from within you. You motivate yourself, you get the motivation, you get the energy, and you get up to do it. But we get inspired by what we see around us. So a characteristic of a leader is to inspire people. People look up to a leader, to a good leader. People look up to them and they're inspired by their actions. They're inspired by the way they speak. They're inspired by the way they treat others. They're inspired by everything that they do in every day in their life. And it's not just something that they do when they're up on stage or when they're out in public. What it is, it's a part of them. It's what they're doing every day of their lives and all the little things that they do that inspire people around them. That's a characteristic of a great leader. And of course, a leader must have vision. A leader must know where he's going to lead the people to, or she's going to lead the people to. A leader has to have that great vision because it's a vision that enables people to climb up out of whatever is getting in their way in their life, to see that vision and to have that vision painted by the leader. So it's such an important characteristic that a leader has that vision. and the values of the person. And people sense that. If you have great values as a person, people will sense that in you and they will want to be a part of what you're doing. Values is so, so important. And of course, values is something that you pick up through your life as you grow up. And what you do in your day-to-day living, in your work, in everything that you've done, in the people, in your family. It's those values, those basic intrinsic values that you have. And if they are good values, people want to be part of that. People want to follow you. They want to be with you. They want to share in what you're doing. And you have to have passion. Passion is so important for a leader. A leader can't be vanilla. A leader has to have passion. People have to see that they have passion in what they believe in the path that they're taking, because if they're going to go out there and they're going to want you to come with them, they have to have passion, and you have to see that they've got it. And of course, you have to trust them. Trust is such an important characteristic, and trust is something that you earn. You cannot expect trust. Trust is something you must earn. As a leader, you get out there and you earn trust by doing what you say you're going to do and following up on what you're going to say you're going to do, and on treating people well, and on always doing the right thing at the right time. You earn people's trust. And let me tell you something, trust can be hard to earn, but very easy to lose. So a great leader is someone who earns that trust and knows that and values that trust and works with it to help the people who are in their group, in their organization. And of course, courage. You have to have the courage to draw that saber and say, follow me, I'm going. You need to lead by example. Get on that white charger and you charge into battle. Whatever it is, you get out there and you do it and you show people how to get there and how to do it. Have a look at some what we might call laws of leadership. There's a thing called the management myth, because there is a misunderstanding between management and leadership, and you can read that, what's in front of you there. And the main difference, as we've already spoken about, is that leadership is about influencing people to follow. So leadership is about influencing people to follow through all the things that we've talked about so far in this webinar. Management is about maintaining systems and processes. Very important role, a very important role, but it is not leadership. If you look at what John Maxwell says here, the quote at the bottom of the screen, the only thing that a title can buy you is a little time, either to increase your level of influence with others or to erase it. And that harks right back to what I said previously about trust. Sometimes trust can be hard to earn, but very easily lost. So you don't need a title to be a leader. The only thing that a title can buy you is a little time, either to increase your level of influence with others or to erase it. Very, very true. And of course, the law of process. Muhammad Ali, arguably the greatest boxer of all time. He was always a champion. This is a really important point for people to realize. People don't become champions just because, in this case, as it says, they're in the ring. It's not because of that. They've always been a champion. They're a champion on the inside. They're a champion in their heart. They're a champion in how they act. They're a champion in how they commit themselves and how they apply themselves. They're a champion in the passion they put into what they do. They're a champion in the fact that they are so committed that there is no way they're not going to reach their goals. They are absolutely 100% focused and committed. That's what makes them a champion, not the fact that they're in the ring. Each and every one of us can be a champion. We can be a champion in whatever area we choose to be. It's whether we're a champion already inside, and we know that, and we go about doing it and doing the right things to get there. And then, of course, there's the law of navigation. It does take a leader to chart the course. When you have a leader with great vision and a leader, as we said earlier, who connects the task at hand and the vision, who allows people to see that path, it takes a leader, a good leader, to chart that course and to get people to follow them, to influence people to follow them, because anybody can steer a ship. But it takes a true leader to chart that course and get people to follow them. Here's some pretty basics about leadership, but this is a good one. The acronym here is plan ahead. So let's just go through them very quickly. Predetermine a course of action. You need to know where you're going. I've said this many times in lots of different trainings that I've done, but you need to know where you're going. You need to be very clear on it and predetermined that course of action of how you're going to go about it. You've got to lay out your goals very clearly. And if you have goals for your team, for your organization in Reliv, lay out your goals for your team. Get them to buy into it. Get them to agree. Get your priorities correct. Adjust as you need to. You need to make sure that you have the buy-in from key personnel, from the key leaders in your downline. You've got to make sure that they know what's going on, so you notify them. And of course, you need to give people time. You need to allow time for people to receive everything that you're putting there, for them to process it within themselves and to come to that place of acceptance before they head into action, okay? That's important. Then you head into action, and when you do, you must expect problems because they will arise. I don't think I've ever in my life done anything where some challenges haven't popped up. You just have to expect it and be ready for it. It doesn't mean you have a negative viewpoint. It just means you're ready for whatever happens. You get in so that when you do hit a challenge or you hit a roadblock, it doesn't stop you. It doesn't become a showstopper. It's just a roadblock. It's just a speed bump. And always focus on your successes, always. Keep your eyes on the successes. Don't focus on any failures that have happened. Learn from the failures, but focus on the successes and review daily. Absolutely so important. Because as it says there, the success or failure of any person can be found in their daily routine. And it is about doing it day in and day out and knowing what you want to do and knowing what it is that you are doing and showing others and leading by example. That's leadership. That's what leadership is. It really is simple, but it's just a matter of putting the qualities and the principles into place on a daily basis. You have to exemplify competence, connection, and character. Character is so important. People sense it in you. If you're a poor character, you can't be a leader. You can try, you can have a title, but you won't be a leader. You have to have good character. That's the most important of those three words there. Absolutely, absolutely so important to have character. And of course the law of intuition, which is so important because who you are, which again it comes back to character, who you are dictates what you see. You interpret through the paradigm that you operate from. So who you are dictates what you see. And if you're a good person and you expect good and you have great vision and you're wanting to influence people for the betterment of them, then you're heading in the right direction. And that paradigm is going to dictate what you see, which will be positive and which will help other people around you. And I tell you what, I don't know that there's anything truer than what's on this slide with the law of connection, because the heart always comes before the head. If someone is going to follow you, it's their heart that they will follow you with. If they're going to connect with you, it's the heart they're going to connect with. There'll be people who'll say, yep, I'm with you, and and off you go, and you turn around and they're there, and you turn around, they're gone. And some people, you turn around, they're there, you turn around, they're there, you turn around, they're gone. They're the people who've just got a head connection. But it's a heart. If you've connected with someone's heart, you will never lose them. Because you can't move people to action unless you first move them with emotion. And let's think about the word emotion. Really interesting, because emotion, emotion, if you consider that, could be energy in motion. And that's what emotion is, because emotion causes an action of one type or another. And you connect with people in the heart, with the heart, and you move people to action by moving them with emotion. People will follow you anywhere if you've connected. If they've connected with their heart to you, they will follow you anywhere. And of course, not the least of all the things important as far as leadership goes is empowering people. Because you want people to rise. You want other leaders to rise. One of the beautiful things about our business is that watching other people who are in your organization come up and zoom past you in the size of their business, in the money that they earn, in the size of their group. It's a wonderful thing when that happens. And it's up to us. It's up to us to be the leaders that we need to be to allow others to do that and to be happy for them, to empower them to be who they can be. And if that's a bigger, bolder, broader, bigger organization and they're making twice as much money as you, good luck to them. That is fantastic because you empower them to be able to go and do that. And our industry and our business and Reliv empowers you to be able to do that. There is no stopping you. It's all about empowerment. And remember that everyone is different. And it's so true here that you do have to push some people, and other people you just have to praise them. Some people really respond to praise like nothing else, but some other people just need to be prodded. For whatever reason, different personalities, some people need to be pushed. It's like athletes who are striving, the Winter Olympics, for example. The coaches of those athletes, some of those athletes will need to be pushed on a daily basis, pushed, whereas others will just strive to do their best simply through the praise that they get. And everybody's different, and it's important that you always remember that. Always remember that. People in your organization are going to be different, and you need to connect with these people so you understand which is the way you should go. Who do you push and who do you praise? Some learning points. Always look for those opportunities to grow. Always. Eyes open. Eyes open. Look for opportunities for you to grow, for your downline to grow, for your organization to grow. Build relationships. It's really important that those relationships are strong. And you know what? Don't let it go to your head when you're successful. And adapt in tough times, because everyone will go through tough times. That's absolutely a given. You need to be creative in what you're doing. It's good to follow and important to follow the Reliv success system and be creative within that system. The system is designed to help everybody, to keep people in touch, to keep people focused, to keep people in the right direction. But be creative. Be creative with your teams. Find out what it is that works best within that framework. And of course, change your future. Don't wait for someone else. Change it yourself. Make the decisions, whatever you need to do to make your future what you want it to be. And just remember this, in the words of Frank Tiger, your future depends on many things, but mostly on yourself. I want to thank everyone for being on this webinar about developing leaders, and I want to just finish off with one quote from General George Patton. Lead me, follow me, or get out of my way. So guys, you know what I'm saying to you? Here we are at Reliv. We're building organizations. We are building throughout the Reliv Asia Pacific, the whole Asia Pacific region. And I'm telling you, to everybody, leaders, followers, or get out of our way, because Reliv Asia Pacific is going to be the #1 company in Asia Pacific, and you can be a part of that. And I really hope that you are. And remember, each week's webinar is advised via email and Facebook every Monday. So get out there, sponsor, promote, advance, ignite your business, and tell people. Lead you, follow you, or get out of your way, because you are going to ignite your business in 2014, and the future is just going to be sensational. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being on the webinar today.